Welcome back, everybody, to the Nosebleed Sports Podcast. I am Chris Witt, and with me, as always, is Mr. Adam Schmidt. Adam, how are you today, sir?
Wonderful. Glad to be here. How about yourself?
I'm absolutely wonderful. We got to find a place to get our friends at Ohio Mosquito Control the hat that they gave us into the shot, because we're brought to you by Ohio Mosquito Control. I'm going to apologize now before this podcast starts. We've had quite a few baseball games here over the past week. We had a tournament this weekend, and then we had a game 2 days before the tournament. We had a game the day, 2 days after the tournament. We had another game today. We've had like 5 games or 7 games in like 8 days. My voice is done. The good thing is today, it's just kind of like one tone in this little rasp, right? Yesterday, screaming and yelling at the kids. If I could talk normal, but when I tried to hit that next octave, it was complete crackle and break, and I sounded like a 13-year-old boy going through puberty. Today, I can go anywhere. It just always sounds like this.
Got a little flexibility, but you're get a little smoker's rasp there, huh?
Yeah, I tell you,
Little March shot.
You know what sucks about that is there are some people that smoke, and I don't know if that's the reason their voices sound like they do or not, but some of them have the best voices in the world. But it's more of the tone, I guess, right? It's that deep bellowing. I can't even do it. I can't do it. I don't know how to do it.
One of my favorite characters in any TV or film anywhere ever is, did you watch It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
Yeah.
Mac's mom. Yeah. Mac's mom is the funniest character. Oh my God. Her voice is very low, very raspy. She's just a filthy old gal.
Yes, she is.
Anyway, voice sounds fine. The most important thing is you're coming off a dub. You got a dub like an hour ago or something like that.
Well, we finished up. The game got over around 8.
Okay.
It was over around 8, but you know how that goes. We played at Hobner Field, so they got a little stand up there. Kids got some snacks and a couple of drinks and hang out for a while. That's what we did.
Very nice. So summertime, kids are out of school. Enjoy that.
That's right. I did not even know that it was 9:30 because it was light and everything was good. And next thing I looked down, it was 20 after 9. I was like, we got to go. I got things to do. But anyway, let's go ahead and let you guys know Ohio Mosquito Control. At Ohio Mosquito Control, they offer quality services to the Cincinnati area at reasonable prices, family owned and operated. Professional mosquito control service. That's just a phone call away. Call or contact online. The easiest way to do it is online, ohio-mc.com. Right there, right at the very top, you hit book online. It takes you right to a place, a House Call Pro. Say where you're at, and it'll tell you how much they're going to charge you, the size of your yard, and all this other stuff, and boom, they get you in the books, ready to go. I just had my 3rd treatment done already. We got a birthday party this weekend for Parker. Those of you who watched the podcast many times know Parker makes a couple appearances a year, usually around Christmas time when he's on Christmas break, and he'll make an appearance here or there in the summertime as well.
Big birthday shout out. Happy birthday.
Yeah, 9 years old, man. 9 years old that little dude is now. So
that means you're old. That's all it means.
Had a big game today. He was 0 for 0 with a walk and got hit in the foot for like the 5th. He now leads the team in hit by pitches. He stays in there. Good. You know what I mean? He's not diving and ducking. He stays in there, take one, and get out.
Chris Witt's son.
That's right, baby. Ain't no big deal. Just take one and go. Take one and steal. Problem is, he's as fast as I am now, which is incredibly slow. But it's all right. He's working hard and he's playing good. He played a little first base today, played first and second. Had a nice little pop up at second, and he had an insane stretch out towards right field, kept his foot on the base, almost diving towards right field to catch the ball, kept his foot on the base, got the out.
Love it.
It was awesome.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so much fun. So anyway, get a hold of Ohio Mosquito Control because they We'll take care of your yard. And it's not too late. Just because I've had 3 doesn't mean you can't get started now. You can get started in a month. I mean, it's not going to do you any good right now because right now you need to go. So get them on there, get on the list. They'll get you in about another 6 treatments or so throughout the summer. Trust me, it's worth it. If you hate getting bit, which I do, I don't really care. I don't get bit. My kids, it's bad news. He's got one right now. There it is. Oh, man. I bet that bugs you, doesn't it?
Yep.
It's all right. Call mosquito control.
Going to.
Jason will take care of it. On that note, Adam, the podcast starts as we have for the last week or two. Have you been writing down by chance what we've eaten? Do we at least know what we've eaten so far?
I think I did the first couple and I didn't, but it'd be very easy to just go back and.
All right, I'm going to write this down when you say them. Let's talk about this. So we started off with what I believe is called the snack pack. I got
it. Snack cake.
Snack cake. All right. So we had the snack cake.
Mm-hmm. And then you had the next week.
I had the next week, which I brought the greatest Reese's thing of all time, which is the outrageous bar.
Right.
And then you were after that.
What did I bring? I brought.
Did you go big cup after that?
Did I do big cup with chips?
We had big cup with chips. Is that what you brought?
Did you?
I think I brought big cup with chips.
Okay, I brought.
Oh gosh, that was the wafer with the wafer in it.
Yeah, the Reese's sticks.
Reese's sticks. We did Reese's sticks.
Yeah.
We did the big cup with
potato chips.
With chips. Nasty. Was that last week?
That was. Maybe that was 2 weeks ago.
Oh, well, 2 weeks. Well, 2 weeks ago because we didn't do Reese's last week.
No, because if you brought the big cup, then I brought something else. And then,
did you bring just a regular big cup?
No, I don't think so.
There's something in there. We're going to figure it out.
Yeah, I'll go back.
But I got something now that I know we haven't done yet. Okay. And Adam, we've been doing Reese's now for at least, what is that? Coming up on about 2 months of Reese's, right? Sometimes when you're doing something like this, you just got to remember what got you where you're at. I went with the original, the regular old everyday normal size Reese cup. And you could win a Reese's Visa rewards card.
Oh.
When you eat this, I need to look.
What does that get me?
I don't know, but this was buy 2, get 1 free. So of course I already ate one.
It's a good call. I'd have done the same.
Yeah.
A Reese's Visa card. I want that so bad.
Looks like you got to send something in. So
that's never mind.
Yep. Don't want it that bad.
I'm out.
All right. So Adam Schmidt, this is a 1 out of 10. 1 through 10.
I can't give it a 0.
Old school. This is 0 through 10. Old school, regular, everyday Reese's. I love the background noise that we get. Yeah. Oh, that was a whole. Did you start a whole thing in? Oh, that's the greatest. I am a half, and then I tongue the middle out as I'm biting it. I try to tongue as much as I can. That sounds disgusting.
I was so excited when you showed me that. I knew immediately I was going all the way in one bite.
Mm-hmm.
So,
one bite, everybody knows rules.
Right. This is going to be, I'm going to finish this in basically 2 bites.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm chewing, but 2 cups. You're right. I mean, this is the traditional, this is the classic.
I got to say, man, the original, it is a really good mixture, a consistency ratio. That's the word. It's a really good ratio of chocolate to peanut butter.
Mm-hmm. It is, which is why it's been everybody's favorite for so long. I'll tell you though, I'm in love with the big cup just a little bit more because a little bit more peanut butter, I think puts it over the top. This is a 9.
I like it. I'm going 9.3.
My first thought was 10. And then I thought, wait a minute. Now I got to think about how I feel when I'm eating the big cup.
Mm-hmm.
And a couple of the other ones. It can't be a 10 because the big cup is, oh, thank you.
Mhm.
The big cup is probably going to be a 10 or,
Yeah, you want to save room for something that might be a little bit better.
I've got to leave room in there.
I like it.
Still, it really doesn't get much better than that as far as candy or any food goes at all. And on Wednesday nights, Reese's is my dinner
Nice, me too.
every Wednesday night.
Usually Reese's is my dinner on Wednesday night here lately because I stop eating. I try not to eat after 8:00. And
Good call.
with that, I usually miss dinner. I pretty much have been only eating one meal a day, which is lunch, and that's basically it, with a whole lot of sunflower seeds mixed in between. So I guess that's a meal. But sometimes, a lot of times, I'll miss dinner on Wednesday, and so when I get down here, it is what it is. However, today I had a soft pretzel.
Can't go wrong with a soft pretzel.
No,
Now you can, because some places a soft pretzel is awful. Some places will give you
I mean, this was microwave soft pretzel from ball field, but it was still delicious.
good microwave though. I feel like if you have the soft pretzel cabinet with the heat lamp or whatever in there, and especially
Absolutely.
the rotation,
Yeah, the rotation, what that does it, bud.
boy.
Yep.
Or you go Annie Ann's or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
I mean,
dude. Oh,
it's
my
good.
God.
Oh, I know.
No, jeez. God.
I went my whole life without ever trying Auntie Anne's. And then I think I was dating somebody years ago, maybe less than 10 years ago, maybe.
What?
And she's like, Auntie Anne's, we got to get Annie. I'm like, I don't care about, what are you talking about? Got it. She got something. I tried just the little nuggets that taste like they're just soaked in butter or something.
Oh my God.
Just the regular nuggets.
Yeah.
And I'm like, my life's changed.
100%.
I was like,
how could you grow up going? We grew up when malls were still a thing.
Yeah, the malls are
And
great.
you never ate at Auntie Anne's pretzel?
Mm-mm.
Oh my gosh.
I only had a Cinnabon once in my life, I think.
What?
Especially, that's a big one for me. I don't understand. I ask myself all the time, how have you only had one Cinnabon in your life?
You are such. That seems to me like your kind of food.
It absolutely is.
So whenever I fly, like if I'm flying somewhere, they have always got. That's like the only time I ever eat a Cinnabon anymore because I stop it. So there's a Flying J on the way home from Columbus, and I gained the first couple years I was going to Columbus. I gained like 15 to 20 pounds. I was eating one every other week. I was having one, maybe even two on the way home.
Oh yeah,
extra
icing
mixed in there, dude. Because it's right inside there, and oh man,
man, you go in there, drop an Uncle Charlie, make room.
100%. That's my spot, dude.
Grab two of them.
Halfway home. There you go. All right, I got a question for you, Adam. Before we get it, we're going to talk about the NBA playoffs today. A little bit because we are getting into the finals are going to start tomorrow. If you're listening to this, they may have already started because we're doing this on Wednesday night. This probably will be up sometime around when the finals come on or the next day. So we'll give our predictions. We'll talk about what we think about what happened in the conference finals and give a little insight onto what we're looking for in the actual finals.
Absolutely.
But before that, I got a question for you.
Yes.
Adam, you're a coach.
As are you.
Freshman basketball for you. Freshman high school, I coach 9-year-old boys. So a little different. So
same principles, though.
Sure. That's my question for you. Principles. Okay. So we have to play in a league. We play in 2 leagues. One league that I never wanted to play in, but we have to due to the organization that we're in. And we play some teams that are below our competition level. I'm not saying that we're a fantastic team because, we are who we are. However, we play against some teams that are pretty bad.
I would say you guys are elite.
There you go. I get that, right? Yeah, there it is. Shirt, hat, everything. So my question for you is yesterday we're playing ball. Last time we played this team, we won 20-0. Not because I wanted to. I stopped taking extra base. We didn't take a single extra base after 10. We stopped stealing. We didn't even lead off after 15. And we were done, but the coach wanted to finish the inning, which so it got out of hand. Anyway, we played these guys again. Head coach is a good guy. Head coach doesn't coach third base. Okay. So we're up by about 5 or 6 in the second inning, and kid hits a ball pretty good, hits it deep, gets in the gap.
Your kid or their kid?
Their kid.
Okay.
And our guy runs, gets it, throws it in, and as my shortstop is catching it in the as cutoff man, the kid's not at second yet, and the third base coach is telling him to come to third.
Gee.
Now, my shortstop misses the ball. Second baseman picks it up before the kid even gets to third. He's standing at second base. This guy sends his kid home. Bad throw home. I'm all about, hey, be aggressive, right? That's fine. You're getting beat by 7, right? And at this point in time, I've been holding back because I'm not here to come out and absolutely kill somebody, right? That's no fun for anybody, especially for the other team. I feel like I don't know if I made a mistake or not. You tell me. I got a little excited. And I said, all right, boys, started screaming. All right, boys, guess we're running now.
Okay.
Right? And I ran every single kid that got to third base. I never had him stop. I didn't care if it was a ground ball. If he was on second, it was a ground ball to the third baseman, and that third baseman threw it, he was going home no matter what. Every single time. I ran my kids like crazy. Game got over. We run-rolled them. And at that point in time, I think it became like a 2-run game when that kid did his thing. So it was like, all right, here you go. You want it? You're going to get it. Did I stoop to their level in this case? Because now the head coach and everybody won't even look at me when we shake hands, right? They don't even look at me or say good game to me. They say it to the kids, not to me. I am one of the nicest. Like, I am as game. I got a guy today who came up to me and shook my hand. Some guy I've never met before from the other team. It says the most sportsman. You coach with the best sportsmanship I've ever seen.
Wow.
I've had that compliment a couple times, but it just happened today. I think of myself that way. I talk to the kids on the other team, tell them how great they do. That third baseman got to me. That third base coach got to me. Big time. Was I in the wrong?
What did the score end up?
We run-rolled them by 12. We beat them by 12. Might have been more than that. It was 20-7.
What inning?
13 in the 4th. So here's how the game ended.
Yeah,
we're up by
most of those runs late?
Oh yeah. So
4th,
yeah,
I guess.
Yeah. I mean, we scored. He did that in the second. We scored almost all our runs in the third. In the 4th inning, bottom of the 4th inning. So top of the 4th, we scored a few extra. Bottom of the 4th inning, he's down by 14. They're losing by 14 runs. And my catcher's hurt. So I got a backup catcher, and he's actually my third catcher. He's in the game, and he's
Kyle
not
Farmer.
Yeah,
Kyle Farmer in there.
He's not as he doesn't have the pop up. He's 9 years old, right? My third catcher at 9 years old, probably not the best at throwing. So he's getting these extended leads at third, and he's like short backstop. He's like telling his kids to go every time, and the kid's stopping because he's like, the catcher's got the ball right in front of the plate when we drop it. 2 outs. Okay, 2 outs. Bases loaded for them. Down by 14. Short backstop. He's got his kids 3/4 of the way down. Normally, my regular catcher, those kids are out because he starts running them back, throws it, kids out. It wouldn't have even been close. He sends his kid home, makes the last out at home. Down by 14. What are you doing? Like, that run means nothing. Nothing.
Yeah.
I'm still right now seething. But because now that other coach, the actual head coach, I feel he was driving away. And I was like, hey, man, great game. Wouldn't even look at me. Drove right by. Window was down. He definitely heard me and saw me. Wouldn't even acknowledge me. I feel like I'm the dick now. But everything that happened was because of that third base coach. I never would do that kind of thing. But if you're going to do it to me, I need to be able to score runs too.
Yeah, I think I'm maybe a little bit. I think there's something I don't totally understand. He's. I mean, is it about understanding that at this age, most likely you're going to have a bad throw or a bad catch,
I
on most
I
of that
I
stuff?
I mean,
that-
most of the time that doesn't happen for us.
Okay.
80% of the time that kid's out at third by a mile. But I don't know what happened. The shortstop got a little antsy, I guess. He was like, oh my God, this kid's actually going. He was standing right next to him at second base when the ball was getting there. He's sending him, though. I mean, technically, then if a kid gets a hit, hits a ball, you're just going to keep running around. That's not baseball. The point is, that's not baseball. You're not teaching a kid how to play baseball now. We're running. You want to run and you want to run till you're out. That's not helping these kids in any way down the line. They're 9 years old. We're not teaching these kids to play baseball for this year. We want these kids to learn the game, right? Am I wrong about that? You want to teach them the game, the correct way to play, because in 3 years, he'll never do that ever.
Sure. So then you did the same thing.
100. Yeah, I was running my kids like crazy.
Like they had the ball on the infield when you sent
guy on second base, ground ball to the second baseman. My kid on second base he scored every time. Scored every time. Because they're worse than me. I knew that, and I would never do that in a regular. But because he wants to do that, okay, if you want to do it, look, I wasn't going to, but if this is how you want to play this game, then I'm going to do this too.
Is the insult are you insulted that he's not coaching the kids the way, I mean, I guess right now, technically, because there are going to be more bad throws and catches and stuff like that. Although, like you said, maybe it doesn't happen as much with your team. But if that's it, are you more insulted by that or that he tested your kids?
I don't mind it. No. I'm upset at the fact. I think it's a good question, right? Think about it. I immediately am upset when coaches take extra bases for no reason, when you're pushing the limits, because I don't feel like that's baseball. I hold my kid. I had a kid up today, should have had a home run. He had a triple, hit it deep, ball's rolling. He gets around. He was coming up the third, and the cutoff man was catching the ball. He was well in the outfield when he caught it. He would have scored easily. But cutoff man's got the ball. A really good throw gets him at home. We had one out. I held him up. He ends up scoring on the next at bat. That's baseball.
What's the score at that point?
Today?
At that point in this play you're talking about?
I think we were up by 4.
I think that has something to do with it too. They already got blown out by you guys.
They weren't at that point. Well, they did before, but they weren't at that time.
Right. So they know they're going to have to scratch and claw for every single run to have a chance to stay in the game. Is it, if he thinks that, he's going to test that kid or he's going to test the second baseman, I think you said, ended up with it. He's going to test him out, even though, balls on the infield, usually you're not going to go. If he felt like for some reason he can send him and he can score, and that pulls them within 2.
You don't feel like this guy was just trying to be a dick?
I didn't think that at all. I'm sorry,
man. I take that as a dick move by the third base coach. That's how I take that. You're killing the game of baseball now. This is not baseball. So if you're going to do that to my team, then you have to know that I'm going to do it to your team. The thing that got me the most upset was that the other team's coach refused to acknowledge me when I wouldn't even look me in the eye or say good game or anything to me afterwards, because all I was doing was the exact same thing his coach.
But you know that your team is far better.
You're exactly right. We are far better. And if you want to play baseball with us, I will play baseball the right way if you play baseball the right way.
That's where I think you, even in a different moment in a couple of days or something like that, you might be like, if he wants to teach his kids the wrong way to play, it's going to bother you, but you can't really do anything about that. You can't really say it. It's not your team. All you can do is coach your team to play the right way. If you are getting beat by a team, but you're close by a team that is probably a lot better than you, and you're like, I think I can send this kid and get another run and kind of be in the game here. It's not. I know what you're saying, but I think it's more it might make more sense in a couple of years, like you said. Like, of course, it's gonna make no sense in a couple of years when everybody's a lot better. But so yeah, I'm sure he wouldn't even do it then. It didn't jump out at me like he was doing something severely wrong.
Maybe it was the look. Maybe it was the way this guy looked that really irritated me too, because he looked like he was a jackass.
Could be. I get that.
Like, I was so irritated. I'm so irritated. We had the team we played this past weekend have a guy on second, and he's bunting, and he never stops his runner. Like, he planned on scoring that runner from second on a bunt, and he did it 3 times, and twice he got out. Once he made it. But why are you continuing to do? I don't understand. Like, that's not. What are you teaching your kids now? You're teaching your kids that you score on a bunt. That's not baseball. Why? That's not baseball.
Well, it's going to have to be adjusted as everybody, like I said, every year, and everybody gets better.
You're going to adjust it every year. I mean, if that's the case, then games could get extremely out of hand really fast.
Meaning
if you're saying that you could just adjust it every year. So if I'm playing some team that I know is terrible, and I just keep on running because I know they ain't never going to throw me out. They can't catch a ball. They can't throw a ball. So I just do that because this time I'm playing him, but then adjust it later when we play somebody else. No, I'm playing baseball the right way every single time.
Okay. And look,
unless somebody decides they want to do it to me, you're going to do it to me. All right. Game's open now. Don't be mad at me when I'm sending a kid. That's my point. Don't be mad at me because I'm doing exactly what you're doing. I never would do this if it wasn't for you. And I think I made it pretty clear when that moment stopped, because I was loud enough, even with this voice, for everyone to know.
That might be what he was upset about.
Then he should be upset with his third base coach.
Yeah.
Because that's not baseball. Why do you got this ding dong coaching third base who's sending runners with the shortest bat? The backstop is like on the catcher's heels, and he misses a ball, and you're sending your kid from third base?
Let me ask you this. Do you think at that time, when you made it very clear that, okay, you sent him, I'm not happy about that, we're going to get you, do you think he could have felt like, okay, now it's about like showing each other up? Like it may not have been, it probably wasn't that they didn't do it to do that.
This kid wasn't even at second when my cutoff man 5 seconds away. He was telling his kid to go to third, and the guy who was catching the ball could have probably tugged him out at second base, and he's sending the kid to third.
Should have got him out.
I'm fine with that. No, 100%. He should have been out 3 times in that. That's fine. And if there you go. I would love to play you in baseball now, because I'll play baseball right until you decide you want to try to do something. Now I'm playing the way you play. But you want to play not baseball? I'll play not baseball. And I've got 8 of 12 kids that are fast as lightning, and they are dying to run.
But if it means so much to you to teach them the right way and to play, okay, the ball's on the infield. Sure, we might make a bad throw and you can score on that, but that's not how baseball's supposed to work or whatever. If you don't like that so much, then why wouldn't you just be like, that's a dumb move? Even maybe tell your kids, like, that's not the way we play baseball. We're gonna do things the right way. And
see, I knew you were gonna say that.
Sorry.
That's probably why I felt the worst, because I don't ever want a coach to hate me. I always feel like I want to be the guy that everybody's like, oh, that man, I like playing that team. They play the game the right way. And that's how I want to be known.
And it sounds like, from everything I've heard, everybody thinks that. Maybe today,
St. Ignatius
you got a little worked up. Plus it's St. Ignatius. So.
St. Ignatius can stick it straight up. The good thing is we'll never play them ever. I will never see that guy ever again. He can play his whatever he thinks is his select ball with St. Ignatius in a terrible league, and they haven't won a game all year. So they're 1-7. So whatever. There's a reason you're 1-7, because your third base coach is an idiot.
Let him be an idiot.
Let him be an idiot, and then
I mean,
I wanted him to see what it looks like.
so
This is what it looks like, what you're doing. This is what it looks like. I'm going to show you right now what it looks like. Is this fun for you? Is it fun for you to watch this? Because it's not.
he's in a different, I mean, you have a team that can do that and get away with it a lot. He probably doesn't compared to your team. So I think that
Even more
in.
of a reason for him not to do it.
Well, no, I mean, trying to get, if it might, let him
If
look
you're
like
playing against a better team, why would you try to do something like that?
well, that's the thing. Let him look like a total fool. Were you upset because he should have been out by so far?
Not even. No. I was not upset with my kids. That happens. The bad plays happen. Man, you miss balls, stuff. They're 9 years old. That happens.
Yep.
I'm upset at the fact that you decide that you think you're just going to start running around, and I don't like when people don't play baseball. Right. And if you're going to do that, then I know that's how you're going to play. Well, I'm not getting beat by you because I'm holding kids up and I'm doing things the right way. I'm not going to hurt my kids. I'm not going to let my kids think that that's right because you just beat me and they see the way you did things. I'm not going to let them think that they're a worse team. They're a much better team. So guess what? It went from a 3-run game to a 13-run game. And that's what happens. Don't be a jackass.
And the game ended before you could. So like if the game went another inning, say the run rule is 15 or whatever, would you have stopped at that point with that much of a lead?
Yeah. That next inning, I wouldn't have even stole. Last time I played them, I had my kids not even take a lead off. When we were up by 15, we stopped stealing at 10 and we didn't even take a lead off at 15. And it ended up 20-0. And I one base at a time at 10. At 10, I had a kid who smoked the ball, burned one of their kids, and held him at first. That's it. I held the kid in front of him. My dad sent him to second, and I held the kid in front of him at second. So he had to go back to first.
Oh, God.
Because that's how I did not want to disrespect that team. I could continue to do that, but I am not going to disrespect you. We've played once. Let's just get this game over with and go do what we do. This has happened a couple of times where in the second inning, a team is close. And I'm not saying that we're great because when we play good competition, we're average. This is a different.
Or you're good and they're good.
Right. This is totally different. We had another team that it was a 2-run game after the second inning, and you would have thought they won the World Series. He was trying to figure out what the time, if it was drop dead at an hour and 50 minutes, and we'd only been playing for 30. He wanted to know when the time limit was.
Trying to get a dub.
He was down by, or no, they were up by 1. They were up by 1 in the second inning. I think it was 3-2. And
time limit in the second inning.
In the third inning, it's 10 after 3, and we scored 11 runs in the third inning. And we do baseball the right way. We just hit, and move the runners around. Last one, I think it was we were up by 7 at the time, and I always tell my kids at third to be aggressive. Kid threw the ball over his pitcher's head. My kid took off because that's how we teach him to do. Because that's a baseball play. If you can't, throwing the ball back to the pitcher, takes off, goes home, and the guy's all of a sudden the exact same guy who's so excited 25, 30 minutes before says, "Just let him have it. That run means nothing," and he's super irritated again. I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm not overrunning kids. I'm not sending kids at the wrong time. You have to make throws back. That's how it works. They took two of the 3 runs they scored off of us were off balls that threw past the pitcher. I'm starting to get irritated again.
And the kid that scored on that play today he scored on taking a chance and
that wasn't today. That was yesterday. This happened yesterday. The Ignatius game.
Yesterday.
Today was a really good game. 9-6.
Nice. But they took a chance, and
it wasn't taking a chance. It was, there's a difference when you try to stretch something, right? There's a difference. Like you see people when they try to stretch, like sometimes I get, all right, we need a run here, right? I got a fast guy up. We need a run. I might take a chance here. I get that. But this was the most deliberate, terrible. I mean, he wasn't even at second when the shortstop was about to catch the ball. And the third base coach is yelling, get over here, get over here, get over. Ball is still in the air. He hasn't even missed it yet. And my shortstop is the best athlete on the field at the time. I don't understand it. Maybe he's not a good third base coach, but
I guess not, because if you're down by 14 or 13, the runner on third means 0 at that moment in time. So if you're trying to take home on a short pass ball, and you end the game because you tried to take home on a pass ball when you're down by 13, that makes 0 sense too. Don't make the last out at home, number one. Never do that, especially the last out of a game. And with a run that means nothing when you got bases loaded and 2 outs, that run means nothing right there. Get your kids up there and hit.
I feel like you're just mad that he's not a good coach.
I am. I think I am.
So then I don't know about challenging him with your, I don't know, man.
I feel like you have talked me off of a leg. I needed you yesterday.
No?
I needed you yesterday. Because when I got all excited and started talking, all my assistant coaches were like, you know what to do now? You know what to do. Go get them. So everybody was like, all right, Chris says, let's run. Then we running. You know what I mean? Because sometimes I get a little heat because I'm not as aggressive.
You're a high energy guy during games, would you say?
100%. Yeah.
So I think your adrenaline's already here. And then if anything happens and you feel a certain way about it, your adrenaline's already here. You might get loud and say
so
something.
I'm the worst. I'm the bad guy. And it's okay to tell me. It's okay to say that if I was the worst. My thought process, I'm this close to texting this dude that night, the head coach, and being like, listen, I just want to let you know, I never run my kids like that. I refuse to act like that. In fact, the last game we played, I didn't even take an extra base when we were up by 10. I didn't want to play the last inning. But once your third base coach did what he did, then that changes everything. I was this close, but I always sleep on it before I text anything. So I didn't say anything to the
Good idea. 24-hour rule.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Look,
part of me wants to reach out to this guy because that's who I am. I don't ever want to be looked at as the asshole ever. I especially in coaching, I want every coach to like me. I want every kid on the other team to like me. They're 9 years old. That's what it should be about.
Mm-hmm. If you reach out to him now, it's been 24 hours. Would it still be, I didn't want to do that, but your guy? Or would it be, look, sorry, I might have gotten a little heated because I saw something that I didn't like, and what do you think?
I feel like it's the same thing. I don't feel like I would do it now. I don't ever have to play that guy again. I'm not worried about it. I feel like at this point in time, I got to take my licks, man. Somebody's just not going to like me. It happens.
I'm sure they've moved on. They probably don't even think about it anymore.
It was the drive-by that got me, though. It was the drive-by that got me. Like I said, every one of those kids, man, is great.
Well, right after. I mean, that's the thing. That's the 24-hour thing. If he drove by you tomorrow, he might give you a wave or something like that.
I doubt it.
Who knows?
You obviously have proven that I'm the bad guy in this situation.
I did not say that. I did not say that.
All right.
It's okay.
All right. Has your adrenaline ever taken over and you made a move that you probably shouldn't have when you were coaching?
Yeah, probably.
Like, I'm up by 15 or 20 with 3 minutes to go.
Almost never happened, but yeah.
But let's say it is. And and you take your starters out. Oh, how about this? And you take your starters out, and the other team starts pressing you. Mm-hmm. Like right with your starters out, they keep their starters in. You're up by 30. You're up by 20 with 2 minutes left, and you take your starters out. They leave their starters in and press.
Mm-hmm.
Is part of you want to call timeout and put your starters back in and put another 10 points up on them? Maybe not put another 10 points up on them, but at least get your guys back in there.
Nope, because the kids that are playing that don't normally get to play are out there for a reason. They're going to get outclassed probably in a lot of cases. But if we were so much better, if we were 30 points better with 2 minutes or 3 minutes left in the game, first of all, especially at that level that I coach,
they're not going to make up 30 points or even close to it.
I'm not saying they would, but it's like, all right, this is your opportunity, bud, for you to do the same thing.
I might put a ball handler back in there.
Yeah.
But other than that, no, I'm not.
Let me ask you
I'm
a
not
question.
worried
If
about.
they started pressing you and you threw a ball away and they made a basket,
Mhm.
and then they immediately went back into their press, would you call timeout?
Maybe, or maybe if it happened a couple of times, like if we couldn't get the ball past the free throw line to go up the floor,
Yeah.
and that happened 2 or 3 times in a row, yeah, I might call a timeout, and I might, but I might.
I'm not saying put your starters back in either.
Just call a timeout and run through the press break, because that's usually our biggest problem is somebody's not doing the right thing anyway.
All right, so basically what you're saying is you think that Juwan Howard then should not have been upset with the coach from Wisconsin for calling that timeout when they couldn't get the ball in twice in a row.
Yeah, I think he shouldn't have been upset.
Okay, just one.
Yeah,
but you wouldn't be upset.
I forget
with
what my opinion on it was back
You wouldn't
then,
be upset with. I said I was more upset with Juwan Howard for continuing to press at that moment in time when how much time was left? It was like 30 seconds. Like, back off, dude. You're down by 20. It's game's over. Your kids aren't learning anything now. You're just upset that you're losing.
Yeah, if
you were down
my
by
bench
20 with 30 seconds left, would you have your starters out there pressing their non-starters?
I don't know. I mean, at that, that's a different level, but I don't know. If I'm down that much, I'm probably putting, but with that much time left, my bench is probably in, even down 20 or 30 or whatever.
I'm saying if you're up.
Oh, if I'm up.
Yeah. If you're Juwan Howard and I'm sorry. No. Yeah, you're right. You're down. Yeah. You're putting your bench in, right?
Yeah. My bench is probably in. Yeah. I got to try to find time for those kids because
they need it. There you go. All right. So Chris is a terrible coach. Adam, once again, outclasses everybody as usual.
No.
I try so hard to outclass everybody. It is so difficult sometimes. What do you do if you're in a baseball game and same team continues to try to bunt with a man on second and never has the kid slow down, just rounds him straight home?
Throw home and get him out?
Well, we did. But what do you do if they keep am I allowed to be upset that you continue to what are you doing? You're not. That's so ridiculous.
No, they're not your kids.
They're not my kids, but you're not teaching your kids how to play baseball.
Okay. But are you going to be one of those guys or one of those parents that goes after a coach and you're not doing the right thing? You're a bad coach. And I mean,
no.
Are you going to let them figure it out for their thing?
Hold on.
I'm not saying you are. I'm asking.
No. If that happens to me, it's more of a, all right, let them run home, boys. We're there. They're going to keep on going home. You just keep on throwing it home. That's an easy out. And I will say it loud enough so you hear it, so you know how stupid you are for doing what you're doing. That's the dumbest thing I've ever seen. I don't like when people don't play.
So you are calling them out.
I'll call them out while I talk to my kids, but I'm talking to my kids, not to him.
So you're trying to disguise your call.
However you want to do it. If you hear me telling the kids that you're doing things the wrong way, once again, didn't you say that I should be telling my kids this isn't how we do things?
Well, in between innings or something, you get them together and say,
if it's the third out at home, and I'm like, that's right, boys, let them keep going. If they're going to keep throwing, they're going to keep running wild, then we'll keep throwing it home and getting them out.
If you say it loud enough on purpose for the other team to hear it so that you're sending a message to them, I think maybe maybe you do it. I don't know. I think maybe you do it a different way.
I struggle with that.
Pull your kids together and say, because it's not up to you to tell them they're doing something wrong. Tell the other team they're doing something wrong.
It's like an unwritten rule. It's like when you go on the baseball diamond, you know what's right and what's wrong. You know,
like
what's
bat
right
flips and stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, I'm talking about baseball. This is in-game things that change the way the game's played. You're talking about flipping a bat after somebody hits a ball hard. That doesn't change the way change the way of how the play happens.
By the way, speaking of that, did you see the last week, I guess it was, when Votto, I think he hit a home run earlier in the game, and then he
A relief pitcher was in, came up, first pitch was high and tight. And then he walked him on 4 pitches. And then Votto turned and like kind of, somebody said he flipped the bat, or he bat flipped or something like that. But it looked to me like every single walk, he just like,
every
like
time he walks, he throws the
threw it.
bat hard.
Yeah.
over
To
there,
throw it.
yeah.
It was no, there was no, yeah, you didn't see that, did
I
you?
didn't see it.
Okay. Because then the guy said something to him as he's walking down to first base, the pitcher did, and Votto went nuts, and he didn't go after him, but the whole entire next at bat, Votto's at first base, screaming at this guy, it was the Cubs last week.
It's the Cubs, man. That's the Cubs, dude. They get under Votto. I feel like Votto's like me. He's a good guy. He has the right thing in mind, but sometimes when, the adrenaline gets high, you make the wrong decision and you say something or do something you shouldn't. And what does Votto do every time? He comes out and apologizes. I apologize. I apologize for the way I acted in the St. Ignatius game. I'm not sorry that we run ruled you in any way,
You don't have to
shape,
be
or
sorry
form.
about that.
I am not sorry about that. There you go.
You're a great coach for your team. Be a great coach for your team.
Ah, geez, here we go. Send me some videos about coaches talking about what it's all about. It's all about being at the grass. It's all about I know what it's all about.
You know what it's all about.
I do.
There you go.
I make a big deal about it all the time. It got away from me once, man. It got away from me
And
once.
that's okay. It gets away from the best coaches, plenty.
Yeah. All right. On to the next deal. Let's talk about the NBA playoffs. Speaking of coaches,
That's a great segue.
man, this is a great segue. Eric Spoelstra is a great coach who's no longer in the playoffs. And so is Steve Kerr, who is still coaching in the playoffs. Adam, what do you think about, you want to talk about the West Conference Finals or the Eastern Conference Finals beforehand, or you just want to jump straight into the finals? Because like you said, we knew that the the Warriors were in, I think, was it the day after our pod? I mean, they've been in for a while.
May have been, yeah.
And then the Celtics series was a little crazy because the games got a little out of hand every single game, it felt like.
Terrible game. I mean, just no close games until I think game 6 actually was games. I think game 6 was a closer game.
Yeah, game 7 was a 4-point game, and that was, that's doable for most people. And game 6 was a 8-point game.
Yeah, that game 6 was the best game. Game 7, I think the Celtics were up 14 or 15 a lot of that second half, and then Miami made a run at the end and cut it to 2, I believe. Yeah, they cut it to 2. Jimmy Butler got, I don't know if you saw that. Jimmy Butler got I think a rebound, went down. How much time was left? Maybe 20 seconds or something like that, maybe less. A really good look at an open 3 in transition, like right into the kind of, going down the floor. Al Horford was back, and he was backing up, far enough where he was in the lane.
Yeah.
Jimmy pulled up for 3 and missed, and a lot of people were all over Jimmy Butler for taking that shot. I don't really have a problem. It was a wide open look.
The 3-pointer has become a higher percentage shot than the long jumper. And if Al Horford's backpedaling, is he going to take it they want him to take it directly to Al Horford, or they want him to like pull up for a free throw line jumper instead of a 3?
Well, Al Horford probably wasn't going to go too much further back. He may have, once Jimmy Butler crossed the 3-point line, I think Al Horford starts to body up a little bit. But Jimmy may have gotten either, get to the free throw line, hesitate, and then try to make a move around him and get to the rim, and then try to tie the game and send it to overtime. But look, he took a chance. They were at home. It was in Miami, and he had an open shot that he felt like he could make. Not a great 3-point shooter, but not so bad that there's no way he should be taking that shot. It's an open shot to win the game, win game 7. right on the line. It's not like he took a 35-footer or anything like that. Right on the line. So I don't really have. I almost always want a guy to go to the rim and get the best, closest shot you can. But I also don't hate that shot. I don't think it was the wrong shot or anything.
Yeah.
So anyway, but Boston did enough to. I mean, their defense is incredible. A couple of things that I didn't realize until just the other night. I heard this. All 5 of Boston's starters got at least 1 vote for Defensive Player of the Year.
Wow, really?
Yeah,
that's insane.
I can't imagine that's ever happened before. And that gives you an idea about how good defensively they can be, and that is that ultimately how they won that series against Miami. Miami's also a very, very good defensive team, but so going forward into the finals, the matchups are really, really interesting for that reason. So you try to think about, who's going to guard Jason Tatum, who's going to guard Jaylen Brown. That's kind of their 2 biggest offensive weapons. And then who's going to guard Steph? Who's going to guard Clay? And I'm sure that the Defensive Player of the Year, whose name just Marcus Smart, is going to guard. You would think will guard Steph Curry.
I mean, they're going to throw everybody at Steph, aren't they? I mean, Steph Curry runs rampant around there, so you can't just put Marcus Smart on him. I mean, obviously, that's not.
You'll have to switch a lot.
Though, I mean, but Jaylen Brown's long. Jaylen Brown would be Jason Tatum is long. I love to have a long, fast, athletic guy on Steph who, for short periods of time, and then you get a guy who will body up Steph and really make him work with through physicality, and a guy like Marcus Smart, and then you get a guy like Jaylen Brown who's just going to trail, and if you try to put that shot up, you got a good chance of getting blocked because he's longer than anything. And the same way with a guy like Jason Tatum. I think you could throw a few guys in on Steph, but yeah, definitely I would say Marcus Smart probably starts off on him.
It'll certainly be a team effort to try to keep him under control. This was something interesting I saw today. Steph Curry, when defended by Marcus Smart in the last 5 seasons, I feel like this might even be wrong, but 30 points in 6 games. That's 5 points a game.
Yeah, but how much of that time is he being guarded? That doesn't mean that he's only getting 5 points in the entire game. It's just 5 points while Marcus Smart is guarding him, which could only be 10 minutes of the game. And Steph could have 25 after that in the same game.
Even so,
he's pretty insane.
It is pretty good. He shoots 37% and 30% from 3 when Marcus Smart has guarded him the last 5 years. Has 3 assists and 7 turnovers in 6 games. That's interesting. Now,
sounds like he's going to see a whole lot of Marcus Smart.
He's probably going to, but I think you're absolutely right though in that they're going to have to. I mean, he's going to get switched off on. He's going to. Al Horford's going to have to stay in front of him once in a while on the perimeter. Grant Williams is going to have to do it. Robert Williams is going to have to. Everybody's going to have to guard Steph at some point, but they're going to try to keep Marcus Smart on him as much as possible. But you're right; those switches when you're switching Jason Tatum or Jaylen Brown onto him from Marcus Smart, you're not losing a whole lot defensively.
No, but Golden State's that's not gonna be the play. The play is gonna be bring up whoever's down low, who Draymond or whoever Al Horford's guarding, and you want to put a 40-year, what is he? What did we say he was? 36.
Al Horford.
Yeah. 30-something year old man who's 6'10" and quite a bit slower. You want that matchup.
Sure. And he's been outstanding. Al Horford has really surprised me in these playoffs. But you're going to have to, and it's going to be a team thing. And look, the Warriors, it's not like their offense is just revolves around getting Steph open shots. They really move the ball. And if Clay's open and he can get a shot off, he's going to do it. If Andrew Wiggins is slashing to the basket and he can score, he's going to do it.
Poole has been shooting the lights out.
They have a bunch of guys now. They have that championship pedigree, cliche term, but experience is definitely on their side. That core has won 3 championships already, and they've got those younger guys, and they've added Andrew Wiggins now, and he's been playing great, and Jordan Poole. They have a great mix of, and really Boston does too, but they're a little bit more experienced that deep into the playoffs. He stands out defensively, but the Warriors have been one of the best defensive teams all year. And they just, I'll be honest, Chris, I don't know how I would choose this, who I think is going to win and how many games. I can't decide.
Really? So you don't even have anything for this right now? I mean, it's going 7. This is going 7. I'm calling home team. Who gets home field? Who gets home court advantage? That's who I'm taking.
Golden State.
Guys said take Golden State in 7.
I like that.
I'm telling you, I believe that the home team will win every single game.
Oh, okay. Okay. No road wins.
No road wins. Golden State in 7.
Okay. Now, Boston is coming off a road game 7 win.
Yeah.
That doesn't matter in this case, huh?
Not in this case.
Okay.
So totally. And that's the other thing too. Like, when it comes to the Warriors, they've played some pretty good defensive teams in the playoffs. But they offensively are as good as it, maybe not as good as it gets, but they're up there top 5, right? They're top 5 offensive team in the league right now going into this. Whereas, what Boston just got done playing was a nitty gritty, couple 4-5 blowouts either way, but mostly another really good defensive team. And I'm not saying Golden State's not a good defensive team, because they can play defense as well. However, they can put the numbers up in a hurry. I mean, with Clay and Steph on the court at the same time, I mean, that's in any 30-second span of that game, they can have a 12-0 run, which is super scary for anybody.
Absolutely.
So but I see that kind of thing really going down at home when you play in the Gardens and you're in Boston and you travel from however far that is, 3,000 miles away. That's a big part of it too. And you're traveling 3,000 miles staying in a hotel. They're traveling 3,000 miles sleeping in their bed.
Yep.
They bed. Sleeping in they bed. Their bed.
Too much Katt Williams. You must be on social media.
Too much Katt Williams.
Yeah, definitely Katt. All right. Yeah, that's that is another interesting piece of it, is because I saw the schedule for the finals and I'm like, why are we dragging this out for 2.5 weeks if it goes 7 games?
Yeah.
Why do we need 2 or 3 days in between games? I'm like, you're traveling as much as you possibly can, pretty much, for this series. So, that's fine. And usually I'm like, well, let's extend basketball season as long as we can.
Yeah. What's that? That's always fun.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So you're taking Golden State and 7.
Who are you going to take?
I'm going to take, Golden State.
Whoa, you're going 7 too. We're taking the same thing.
I'm going to go Golden State in 6.
Wow, really? Golden State in 6. Mr. Game 7 is not taking a 7th game.
I would have taken 7. I'm just trying to do something different than you did. I almost took Boston for that reason. But yeah, I hope you're right. I hope it goes 7. I absolutely want that. Like I always do.
Yep. I love it. That's perfect for me. I'm in for that.
I'm excited. I'm always excited. No matter who's in the finals, I'm excited about it. And I'm really happy with these teams, especially Golden State. I love that Golden State team. I know every kid under 12 years old fell in love with them for the last few years too. But
my son is like, he's leaning more and more towards. I asked him the other day who his favorite player was, and he said, LeBron or Steph. It's getting more, he's leaning more towards Steph. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's happening. This is Steph Curry is this generation's LeBron from 15 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah. So I love this Golden State team. And what's amazing is 2 years ago, they won 15 games. You know, they had all those injuries.
Everybody was hurt except Draymond.
Right. Yeah. And he's missed time too. But yeah, Clay had two of the biggest injuries you can possibly have, missed two whole years. And that was a big thing. And Draymond did miss time, and Steph missed a bunch of time too. But this is almost like the job that Steve Kerr did, and everybody like took notice of the job Steve Kerr did when he took this team over and like elevated them so quickly to become way better. He's done that twice now.
Yeah.
I mean, I know they were injuries, but now those guys are in they're 32, 33 years old.
Yeah.
And they're coming off of injuries. They're in their 30s now, and he's got them playing that way again.
That's
something happened. Oh wow,
we're good.
Just a chord movement.
It's keeping it. It's still listening. It's just I tweaked our headphones, so the headphones got a little tweaked out.
I gotcha. Okay, so we both have Golden State here. It wouldn't surprise me one bit if Boston wins this series. I have to say this because I'm a Greg Popovich shill, but both coaches are Greg Popovich guys.
Absolutely.
So I'm pretty excited about that little story too. I don't know if anybody else cares about that, but
that's a fun part of it, right? I mean, for you, I mean, Pop is putting himself every year, it seems like, with different things that happen as one of the biggest innovators at the coaching position. They have rules now of what you can and cannot do when you're, or the way you have to put players on injured lists, because he did such a great job of making sure that his players were healthy for the playoffs, and he didn't care. He didn't care if you paid $150 when you're, when the really good Spurs teams came to your town and you didn't get to see Manu Ginobili, Tony Parker, or Tim Duncan. Like, sorry, tough luck. It's just not about you right now, bro. It's about our basketball team winning games.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. So anyway, on to let's go on to the Mount Rushmore here.
Let's go to Mount Rushmore.
This was
what do they call that? A gleek? Isn't that what that's
is that
called?
what happened?
Yeah.
The Mount Rushmore here. Oh, bless you.
Sorry.
That's why you moved that. What's happening here? The Mount Rushmore this week, I thought was going to be kind of fun, and it turned out to be harder for me than I thought.
It was not easy. This is not easy because there's a couple that are boom. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Oh, we should probably tell them. Go ahead. Tell them what the Mount Rushmore is. Sorry, that's my fault for interrupting.
No, movie sequels. I was beating around the bush, but movie sequels. So anything past the first movie in any franchise is considered a movie sequel for this. So,
I mean, like, I'm not, and I feel like this is easy for movie geeks. And when I say movie geeks, I don't mean like I'm not saying you're a geek. I'm just saying, like, I say that as somebody who loves watching movies and is into new movies and see stuff like that, right? Because you've got all of the Avenger movies. There's probably been a couple Captain Americas and a couple Hulks, and there's been a bunch of Hulks and a bunch of Iron Man and Aquaman. Now there's an Aquaman 2 coming out with, by the way, Johnny Depp, Amber Heard. Have you been watching any of this stuff?
I've just heard other people.
You've got to just hit type in Johnny Depp, Amber Heard trial highlights. It's amazing.
There was somebody. Oh yeah, because what's his name was on there, right? From Aquaman. He came on and was acting a fool, even though he was doing a court.
I didn't see that.
Testifying.
Who was it?
What's his name from the guy who played Aquaman?
He was on I didn't see him.
Yeah, because she was in it. I think she was in the first one.
Yeah.
And so I'm pretty sure I saw a video of this, and
I thought it was like a thing somebody made, but I think it might have actually happened. They had him on video, like testifying in the court
Yeah.
case, and he came on and was just like making jokes and being kind of rude. Like
There was a couple of them that were like that. Like Johnny Depp's driver was like that. Like just basically saying
just
all
no
kinds of crazy
reverence for the
stuff.
court.
No, none at all. And these people were having fun with it too, man. Like the Johnny Depp's lawyer, she's awesome. She's great, right?
I've heard.
So this lawyer for Amber Heard is asking Amber Heard asking somebody questions. Was it Amber? She was asking Amber Heard questions. And just there's one point where she goes, objection, leading. Or it wasn't leading, but we'll just say it was. And then the the attorney stops and she thinks about her question. And then she starts asking a question and she jumps in, objection, leading. And you can see Amber Heard's lawyer getting, I'm going to try to ask this question. I don't know how to even phrase it anymore. And it's like, oh, you might have the wrong lawyer, sweetheart. You might have the wrong lawyer. She can't even ask a question. Old girl's raking her over the coals. It is so great. Like, and Amber Heard's gotten caught in a couple different ways. She says something about talking about getting beat up from Johnny Depp, right? And Johnny Depp beat her up, she claims. And they talk about all this stuff, and there's a picture of Johnny Depp passed out that Amber Heard took to show. This is the night that she got beat up, right? She says she got beat up. And she's testifying this, and she goes, something, talking about makeup and using makeup to cover up her bruises or whatever. And she goes, and you can use, and she's like, well, what can you use what her lawyer's asking her, what do you use to cover up a bruise? And she's explaining foundations. And she goes, basically like a bruise kit. I mean, not a bruise kit. No, not a bruise kit is what they use in the movies. And they got a picture. There's a little bruise kit down the bottom corner of the picture that she took.
Oh, wow.
Oh my God. So they're like,
to make bruises?
Like how movie producers would make it look like you have a bruise in a shot. Like it's got the different colors of red and blues or whatever that you mix together. And she straight said she used the bruise kit.
Oops, my bad.
So great. I'm telling you, you gotta watch these highlights. They had a psychiatrist on the other day. It's like this.
Yes, I saw that guy. Meth mouth guy.
Do I have to answer that question? And the judge looks at him and goes, yeah. When they ask a question, you have to answer it.
I did see that.
He went on this super long, whatever he was talking about. And the judge goes, you need to actually answer the question she asked. Like, please stop talking for a minute. Run back to this question she asked. So great. He diagnosed Johnny Depp with some kind of, he used an actual diagnosis for Johnny Depp. And then Johnny Depp's lawyer comes up and goes, have you ever heard of this? And he's like, yeah, it's a, I can't remember what the word was, but the guy's like, yeah, it's a rule for psychiatrists that they cannot diagnose somebody without ever seeing them as a patient. And he goes, okay, have you ever seen Johnny Depp as a patient? Johnny Depp as a patient? He's like, no, but I've seen him in his movies and just watching the Pirates of the Caribbean, you can tell. And he goes, so you're telling me that the way he acted in a movie, oh my God, just blowing these people up. Amber Heard's getting raked over the coals.
There was a verdict, right? Today, I think.
Was it today? I thought it wasn't going to be over till Friday. If it happened today,
I saw what they were. So I don't want to.
No, tell me. I'm fine. Tell me.
They were both,
spoiler alert.
They were both awarded because she
wanted 50 mil. He wanted 100.
I think I heard the other way.
Or was it the other way around? Maybe it was the other way around.
In one, so I think Johnny Depp. What did he have the defamation suit and she countersued? Okay. He was awarded 15 million. She was awarded 2 million. Neither one of them got anywhere close to what they wanted. But they have to basically, it's a net 13 million for Johnny.
Oh man. There you go. Well, he's gonna get even more because she came out and said all the money that she got in the divorce she was going to donate to these two charities. She said, I'm pledging to donate these to these two charities. And that's been, 4 or 5 years ago since they got divorced. And Depp's lawyer's like, so the $9 million that you got, have you given any money? He goes, well, she said, I've pledged it. Yes, I've pledged that money. She goes, it's been 5 years. You have not given any of that money to anyone. She goes, oh, well, I use pledge synonymously. She goes, well, we don't. Pledging is not giving. Have you given it? And like, oh my God, it's so great. I loved every second of it.
You can pledge all you want.
Yeah, I pledge. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag.
Yeah. I pledge my life savings to give to whatever you want to say you pledge it to. But if you don't give it to them, it don't matter.
Lemon pledge.
I love
Great
every second of it.
Great household cleaner.
Anyway, we got off on a tangent. I apologize.
One more tangent.
Pirates of the Caribbean could be one that people
You might have just answered my question.
Okay.
Favorite Jonathan Depp movie?
Oh, Old Eddie Scissors Hands is way up there, but I've got to say, Finding Gilbert Grape is probably my favorite Johnny Depp movie.
Never saw it. Okay.
What?
Yeah.
Leonardo DiCaprio plays an autistic handicapped person.
All right. So was this
It's his little brother.
is that the sequel to Rain Man? Is that on this? Is that on your list?
Maybe.
sounds like
Yeah.
similar to Rain Man.
Yeah.
Definitely Eddie Scissorhands for me. Okay. Just wondering since
Nice and easy.
since we talked about that. So speaking of sequels, right back to sequels. You have 4 sequels. Can continue on with your explanation. You were talking about you have all the
It's tough. You've got
Star
Star
Wars,
Wars,
you
you
got
got Star Wars, all these ones that have like 50 different movies of them. I don't know how to do that. So going into what I love The Godfather. Like I love The Godfather, but Godfather 2 is probably my favorite of all of them. So I put Godfather 2 on there. You get more of a background and you get to see Robert De Niro more, it's got the whole backstory with him and him moving to, have you ever seen?
No.
You've never seen I love mob movies and stuff like that. The Godfather's awesome.
Scarface is the only one I've ever seen.
Really?
Mhm.
All right. Scarface was good. I like.
I'm not even
Scarface,
sure.
but
That's not
you
even
got-
really mob. It's drug cartel, right?
Yeah, it's basically like drug cartel.
Yeah.
But I mean, you still have some mob dealings in it because they deal with the mob a little bit. But anyway, yeah.
Yeah.
Man, really?
Never seen The Godfather. I've never seen what's the other one?
Goodfellas.
Goodfellas. Never seen Goodfellas.
Rest in peace.
Thank you.
No, rest in peace
Oh, is that
rest in peace to
Ray Liotta.
Ray Liotta.
Yeah.
There you go. Ray Liotta
Yeah.
passed away.
There was our segment.
Yeah.
Our-
Rest in peace. For some reason,
No.
we always laugh. And
No.
smile.
It was
What
called
was it? What was that segment
Dearly
called?
Departed.
The Dearly Departed.
Uh,
Dearly Departed Ray Liotta.
all right.
So I'm going to go Godfather.
who favorite Ray Liotta movie?
Oh, that's
Goodfellas.
easy. It's no,
Godfather.
no.
or,
Ray Liotta wasn't in Godfather. He was
I
in
mean,
Field of Dreams. He was Shoeless Joe Jackson in Field of Dreams. That's the greatest movie
I just
ever.
wanted to get to that. Of course.
I wish there was a Field of Dreams too. There may be. I don't know.
You don't
Um,
want to ruin it.
There's some bad ones out there, like Grease 2. Eek, that was rough. You know what
Grease
I mean?
1 sucks. What are you talking about?
Grease 1 wasn't bad. I like Grease. Grease 2 sucked. There's a bunch of silly ones like that.
I only like Grease because Baldwin likes Grease. That's
Yes,
the only
Paul
thing I
Rudd's a
like
huge
about it.
Grease man. So I'm gonna go with. So I'm gonna jump the 2s. I'm gonna go with Rocky 4. Rocky 4 is. I mean, Rocky 3 is good too. With they're all good. I love all the Rockies. I ain't gonna lie to you. Even with Tommy Gunn, when you get into like 5 or 6 or whatever that is, I still have never seen Creed, which I almost feel like there's something wrong with me for never seeing that. I want to see Creed, but Rocky 3 with Mr. T, but Rocky 4, Darth Lundgren, or however you say a guy's name, that's the greatest. When he goes out there and starts training in the wilderness of Russia, and he's running up the hill, and the guy's following him everywhere he goes, and they can't pull up the mountain, and he takes off. And I don't know if he said "Yo, Adrian" again or not, but he screamed something. Rocky 4, and then So it gets tough again, right? Because all the Toy Stories are good. You know what I mean? You like the cartoon stuff. There's plenty of those things that go. I'm not gonna go that route though. I mean, we talked about this the other day, and it's pretty simple. I love Back to the Future 2 and 3 equally. I think they are equally as good as 1. Maybe not. Maybe 1 is the best, but 2 and 3, I love both of them. When he goes to the Wild Wild West and the dude calls him a chicken, or yellow, calls him yellow. Oh my God. Cracks me up. He throws the Frisbee and all that stuff. Love that. So I'm going to go with Back to the Future. I think I'm going to go with Back to the Future 3 instead of the Back to the Future 2 where Biff steals the almanac. I think I'm going to go with 3. There's something about 3 that I like. And then my last one is this whole series is phenomenal. And if you've never watched any of them, dude, I strongly suggest you catch you a little Matt Damon and get you some Bourne. Bourne Identity is the first one. Bourne Supremacy is equally as good, if not better. And I think there's a third one too, and I don't remember what it's called.
Is it Jason Bourne? Is that his name?
Jason Bourne.
Yep.
Movies
Never seen.
Dude is bad. It is awesome.
That's a good Mount Rushmore. And speaking of never seen that thing, that's what makes this so much harder for me than I realized. I don't watch movies.
I don't watch movies either. I know it.
I don't watch movies.
I didn't start watching movies until I got married.
Okay.
So like 15 years is what I have in movies. If it wasn't something Uncle Paul was watching, I didn't watch movies.
Sure. And he's watching shows. He's watching a lot of shows.
Yeah,
right?
but he went through a long period, man. Back to the Future was huge for him.
Okay.
The Grease and all that. I mean, he went to movies there when he was in his 20s and 30s. He was a movie guy.
Okay. Nice. All right. Well, that was the biggest problem for me, but we have some similarities here. Similarities, but not the same. Back to the Future 2 by far is number 1 for me. And so Back to the Future 1 and Back to the Future 2 are almost exactly the same. Back to the Future 3 for me, for some reason, just has always been way down here. I don't know why. I don't know if I was just not into the West stuff. I've seen that one far less than the other two.
Yeah.
For some reason. Just
I loved it. I love that one.
Yeah.
Biff falls in the manure, or they dumps the manure on him. That's so great.
So maybe I need to go back and watch that soon. Mary Steenburgen is in that one. I like her.
Mm-hmm.
But
Doc's love interest. She's awesome. I think she was in one of the other ones I was just talking about too.
Was she?
Yeah, she was in Saving Gilbert Grape.
Oh,
yeah. Oh, she was the cougar that always had Johnny Depp bring the groceries over. And, he would take little Gil with him and or whatever. Anyway, yeah, he was over there not just to deliver groceries. We'll just say that.
Oh yeah, he was chopping up her the shrubbery
hedges.
Outside.
Hedges.
What
yeah.
is it?
Trimming the hedges.
Different movie.
Different movie.
Okay. Back to the Future 2, absolutely my favorite. Nope, I can't even say that. I can't say that because Karate Kid 2.
Oh, wow. Karate Kid 2.
I think that's my favorite sequel ever.
Man.
I'm
taking the Bourne Supremacy off, and I'm putting Karate Kid 2 on there.
He goes to Okinawa
with
Mr. Miyagi when his dad's sick, and the whole movie's over there, except for the very beginning when he surprises him as he's walking onto the breezeway that you walk onto to get to the plane. He's got his Okinawa book that he just happens to stop by the library on the way there or whatever. But yeah, and he's got his love interest there, Kumiko, I think her name.
Yeah.
No, I love that movie. Love it. The big scene at the end, I'm trying to the dance that they do and in the big castle, and they won over Sato, and love that movie so much. I think even more than one.
Wow, one was great.
One was great. Let me just go right into Karate Kid 3.
Whoa. See, Karate Kid 3, really? You put 2 Karate Kids on
I
there?
put 2 Karate Kids on there because I don't watch movies.
I feel like
and
I could have put both Rocky. I feel like I could have went Rocky 3 and Rocky 4.
Go Rocky 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Because
for
2's
sure.
awesome too. You're right.
Yeah. So Karate Kid 3, yeah, Terry Silver and was Mike whatever his name was, the young dude with the spike, the
Yep.
spiked hair. That was just fun. I just liked the whole, Mr. Miyagi was my hero. Like anything, he was in all 3 of those. So now I never saw the
Say he was on one with
the next
Will
Karate
Smith's
Kid.
kid. Yeah.
Was he on that one? No, I think he died.
Are you sure? I thought he was in that one.
He was in the one with who was it? Was it Elizabeth Shue or no? Who was no? Who was the girl that came the next Karate Kid? I think.
Yeah. When it was it was a girl.
But then
I don't know who actresses or actors really are.
Neither do
Like I know a few big names, and then after that,
same.
like when you said that girl's name, and I was like, yeah, that's Doc's love interest. That was a total guess. When you said yeah, I was like, sweet, I got the right chick.
It was.
And then I know what else she was in.
I'm terrible with names too, and plus I don't watch anything. So
Saving Gilbert Grape, check it out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Definitely.
All right. Back to the Future 2, Karate Kid 2, Karate Kid 3. I'm going Rocky 3.
Oh yeah, Mr. T.
Only because
Hulk
Mr. T
Hogan,
and Hulk
Hulk
Hogan.
Hogan.
Only for that reason. Those 2 are in that
Thunder
movie.
Lips. Oh my God. Thunder Lips to start that movie. That is the greatest thing of all time. Hey man, it's for charity, right? Just like go a little have a little
Picks
fun
him
for
up and throws him out of the ring in a boxing match. That was funny, and Mr. T's character was so funny in that.
Awesome.
I'll show you a real man. Come over to my apartment tonight. Something like that.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. Oh,
just
you
love
knew, but
those
that's
two
when
guys.
Mick died. Mick died.
Mick died in 3. Did he? Hey, look. Sometimes Micks die.
Mick dies in 3 because that's the one where that's what gets it, because he fights Clubber Lang the second time without Mick, and he's got what's his name's boy with him. No, that doesn't happen until after he dies. That's in Rocky 4 when he gets the guy who's trying to throw in the towel against.
Well, Apollo trained him after that, right?
That's what it was. Apollo trained him for the second fight, and then Apollo's trainer trained Rocky in Rocky 4.
Okay. All right.
After Apollo dies.
I don't really remember a lot about all the Rockies and what takes place in what movie. I remember almost nothing past Rocky 3.
Really?
I remember Dolph Lundgren.
Rocky 4?
Sure. But
Rocky 4 is my favorite Rocky of all.
The Russian one
That's my all-time favorite Rocky.
I mean, I know that happens in that one, but all the stuff with Paulie and
I can change. Yeah.
And
you can change. We all can change.
Rockies are obviously classic movies, also super cheesy and overrated at the same time.
Overrated?
Yeah, just like Seinfeld.
That's a low blow.
I like those things, but I mean, the Rocky movies are so cheesy. They're super cheesy, and just like almost every sports movie, it's hard to depict, to actually show, like, make it realistic. The boxing in those are so absurd that I'm like,
oh my gosh, watching Sylvester Stallone get his head kicked in and the sweat going all over the place and his spit
and his hands down, and he gets punched like this, then he gets punched like this, then he gets punched like this, and then uppercut. And oh my gosh, there's no way he can even put his hands up.
That's the point. You can't knock him down, man. You can't knock him down.
He wasn't doing that to taunt the guy.
Yeah, he does. That's what he does
in
Rocky 4. Rocky 4, he just starts telling him, hit me. And then Dolph starts getting out of breath. And then boom, Rocky gets in there. The Russian's bleeding.
After that's what I mean. It's so bad. And look,
get out of town.
Look, almost every basketball movie is that bad too.
Anytime you have a sport involved, these people, I mean, they're not athletes. Well, Rocky, I didn't think Sylvester Stallone looked that bad as a boxer.
I thought he looked miserable. I mean, his body looked great as a
He
boxer.
had to do it as a lefty
miserable.
too. He had to do it as a lefty. He had to do it as a
Was it?
southpaw.
Yeah,
That was the whole point. He was a southpaw.
So you learn how to fight southpaw. So it's just everybody else.
But then in
everybody else too.
Rocky 3, he switches up and goes right. Or in Rocky 2, when he fights Apollo the second time, he switches it up and he fights from the right side.
That's right-handed. Yeah, I just something about in my adult life, it's been harder for me to get into the Rocky stuff.
That's a bummer for you, man.
Yeah,
I get so jacked up, dude. I could run through a wall. I'd run through a wall for Mick right now.
yeah. Mick was funny. Meredith Burgess.
Is that Adrian?
No, that is Mick.
Oh, his name's Meredith.
His name's Meredith, and he was
That
the
sucks.
Penguin on the Batman. Yeah,
Speaking of another one, like there's 50 Batman. There's a lot of the Batman that I liked.
Michael Keaton.
Michael
That's
Keaton
the
was
one.
the
That's the
original.
one for me.
Yeah. So then you're definitely not
Can't put it
taking
on there.
Batman on there.
Can't put it on there. Now, what was the one with Jim Carrey as the Riddler? That's maybe the only other Batman movie I've seen.
Dude, the one where the dude ended up killing himself right afterwards. What was that guy's name? Who played the Joker? That was one of the best. That was one of the best Batman I've ever seen.
Never saw that one, but yeah,
I think that was one of the first Christian Bale. Was that one of the first Christian Bale Batmans?
I feel like it.
I
I feel like
know.
that's right.
Worst Batman ever. I mean, we're all in agreement. Would be the whatever the guy's name is from Top Gun.
From Top Gun, which is a very topical thing right now as well.
Yeah.
Who's
Who's the bad guy? Not the bad guy, but like the other pilot that nobody likes.
another
Top
movie
Gun.
I've never seen, by the way.
Okay.
There's Tom Cruise and Anthony Edwards were in the original, and I don't know about anybody else.
Never mind.
I'm telling you, I don't know why.
It was the
picked a
one that
movie.
Arnold Schwarzenegger was in. Where'd my phone go? I need to look this stuff up.
Good
It's right in front of me.
I was like, did you just have it? You haven't gotten up. I don't know who the villain in the first or the new Top Gun movie is. I feel like the villain is actually Tom Cruise, just as a guy.
He's always a villain.
Yeah. That Scientology stuff is just weird, man.
Dude, have you watched any of that stuff?
Yes, I watched that entire documentary twice. The Leah Remini one on Netflix.
That's my Val Kilmer is who I was trying to think of.
Kilmer.
Val Kilmer.
You did not like the Val Kilmer.
No, Val Kilmer is a terrible Batman. Although Michael Keaton, without a doubt, I agree.
Oh, the
Best. Christian Bale ones aren't bad. I haven't seen all of them, but
Yeah,
Michael Keaton's the best.
I agree. Michael Keaton,
And Catwoman.
originally a stand-up comic.
Yeah.
Michael Keaton. Yeah. I love that about him.
He's really funny in everything he does. He's funny in Batman.
He's funny in the other. Have you ever seen the other guys?
I don't know.
Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg. They're cops. They're like detectives.
Oh man, I think I have seen that. Is he the chief of police or something like that?
Yeah.
I think I have seen that.
Yeah. Michael Keaton is. Yeah. That's
He's
really
a villain in another movie. He's like a Birdman or something. I don't know.
Have you ever seen any of the Die Hard sequels? Weren't there a couple of those?
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if those were any good.
Old Bruce is always doing something good. Maybe Die Hard was Die Hard 2 the one with Samuel L. Jackson?
Don't know.
Me neither.
Didn't even see the first one.
Imagine that.
It's a good thing we're talking movies here. All right. Well, we both have given our Mount Rushmore of movie sequels. We've got one more bit to address here, and that's our comedy special.
Yep. So
And that
Adam,
is
Katt Williams,
Feline Williams.
Feline Williams with a K.
Feline
Kitty
with a
cat.
K.
Feline with a K. Katt Williams, World War III on Netflix. Adam, I started off the Mount Rushmore. Tell me what you thought about Katt Williams.
Well, let me just some of the notes I wrote down. Chicken stance ? He's talking about the chicken stuff.
Yeah, he looks like a real chicken. Apparently, chickens all have 1 foot behind them and 1 foot in front of them.
Really confused about that.
I don't know, but they got lots of thighs.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes total sense why there's a ton of thighs, because when you eat chicken wings, you get like 8, 10, 12 chicken wings. Well, every 2 chicken wings, there's 2 thighs. When you eat thighs, chicken thighs, you eat like 1 or 2 thighs and that's it. So there's going to be an overabundance of thighs. Joke made no sense to me.
Oh, okay.
I mean, you don't go like, I'm going to take 10 chicken thighs. No, when you buy chicken thighs, if you buy chicken thighs, you're only eating 1 or 2. Whereas chicken wings, you may eat 6 to 12 or more.
Because they're smaller.
Yeah. So I disagree with his take on the chicken wings.
All right. Well, that pretty much throws half of his special out the window, because the song that they played very briefly after the joke that ended with "Weekend at Bernie's" about I was confused about that. I was like,
I think the DJ was supposed to do something different right there.
You think so? I think it was a
don't
mess
know.
up.
I don't know.
I was like, I don't really understand that. I think I just, if there were words to it, I couldn't understand the words. Maybe
I
that would make
was
sense.
watching Netflix and the words didn't make sense either. I was watching Netflix with the what do you call them, subtitles. Still didn't make sense.
The fake collapse in laughter after he says it, he did that a few times.
5 times.
I'm like, he didn't do it after anything he said was funny. Like,
I know.
why would you be pretending to collapse in laughter after saying that? You know, let's see. Let me try to find something positive here. The fax machine joke was kind of funny.
That was really good. The fax machine joke, I laughed pretty good at that.
Let's see.
Women.
Okay, so let me try to. I'm trying to find something positive here.
The very last joke, the BC joke, that was pretty good. I got a kick out of the whole BC joke. I thought that was pretty funny. We're not going to call him. We're just going to call him BC from here on out. That was kind of funny. Like, I don't know. I thought it ended. I mean, on a high note for the way the rest of it went.
You know what's funny is I was heading home. I just watched this last night. I was heading home from somewhere, and I was like, you know what? I kind of have a feeling this is going to be decent. I think it's going to be better than I was expecting. Before I get to how I felt about that, let's see. Water's the only thing in the world that you know the recipe and you can't make. Oh, hold on, you can't make none. Now, besides being bothered by every single double negative, I did think that joke was kind of okay. There were he did some stuff that was like, it's like the premises in the themes of the jokes were so like they've been done for decades and decades. Yeah. The Adam and Eve, like I feel like everybody's done Adam and Eve jokes. Yeah. I feel like what was the other one where trying to get the trick the audience and where are the men with with ugly women. Okay, and he laughed,
played on that for 5 minutes
so hard, and then
tried to play on it for 5 minutes.
Yeah, I'm like, come on, man, this stuff. People have been doing this for 30 years.
The thing that got me the most with this was it seemed like he didn't have that much material.
Mm-hmm.
Because
you could tell he was winging it.
He was talking through. He'd say the same exact thing 4 times before he would start the joke, and it was like he was trying to talk around it to make it go a little bit longer.
Mm-hmm.
It was almost like Netflix was like, "Yo, Katt, we need a special out of you, bro. Here's $5 million if you can run us off a special." And he's like, "I'm from Avondale, bro. I get you a special in 10 minutes." and it seemed like a really big audience. It seemed like it was huge. Mm-hmm. They did not there was no huge laughter out of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's my big thing. I think that his delivery wasn't very good. It took him way too long. And then when you start cracking up at a joke and no one, there's a few giggles out there, but they're laughing at your reaction, not the actual joke.
Yeah. I gave it out of the kindness of my heart a 1.9.
Whoa. Wow. Oh man. Did I overrank this?
No.
I went under a 3. I was under a 3, but I was at 2.9. I went with 2.9.
Okay.
But I mean, there was some funny parts in there. It wasn't as bad. I think the big thing is I went and saw Katt Williams. We've told the story before. It was terrible. The worst thing I've ever seen in comedy in my entire life. And because of that, everything's always better than that. It was literally the worst comedy special I've ever seen.
There you go. Maybe that was his strategy. Be really bad for a little bit so that
all his stuff before that, though, you go back 15 years ago, dude, he put out 2 or 3 specials back to back to back that were phenomenal.
I know that he's made me laugh before. I know that I've heard jokes from him that I'm like, oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
For the most part, most of what I've seen from Katt Williams, I'm just not that big. Yeah, I don't know why. Just not that
not
big.
A Katt fan. Not a Katt fan.
Not really. I mean, yeah, the animal or the
feline Williams.
Yeah.
Well, that was easy.
Catherine. Yeah.
All right. Well, do you have any comedy specials set up? Because now we have to decide what we're going to do for comedy and for Mount Rushmore next week.
Again, we are in an amazing time for comedy. There are so many. I just saw another one today. People are putting stuff out on YouTube all the time. And it's not usually like Netflix, like new special goes up, they are putting it up. They're like, this is the first thing you're going to see when you log on here. YouTube, you can see some of that stuff if your algorithm is the right way or whatever, but you kind of have to stumble upon it.
How
or
do I set my algorithm up?
Just depends on what you watch. You watch a lot of like baseball videos and stuff like that. I know because I log into your account.
Look, man, I've been a baseball guy my whole life. And now that I'm in here, it's nothing but Parker watches on my YouTube a lot. So, and Parker loves baseball videos. Parker watches some baseball videos. He watches people playing baseball video games on YouTube. So
I don't know if I can do that, but yeah, I'll log on to YouTube under your thing to post our podcast, and I'm like, man, look at all those baseball. Like that's my Chris.
There's a lot of training videos on there too.
Yeah,
so a lot of training videos. Yep. You Go Pro Baseball, Antonelli Baseball, a lot of Zone Sports Academy, or also known as Dominate the Diamond. A lot of the Dominate the Diamond, by the way, guys. If you are out there trying to be a coach, just go to Dominate the Diamond or Zone Sports on YouTube. You get every drill you ever need.
Nice.
Great guys. They're not going to do you wrong.
That's one of the best things about social media and some of those things 100%. Like that is, I mean, just you can watch coaches clinics. If I'm talking basketball, coaches clinics, Jay Wright and all the best coaches have done clinics. They've have practices that they've let people record and stuff like that. You can find everything on there now, man. It's cool. A great tool.
Yeah.
I am going to go this week, Chris, with a gentleman who put out a YouTube special in the last couple weeks here. He's been making his rounds on he's a New York comic. He used to do a podcast with Chris DiStefano called History Hyenas. He has his own podcast now called Long Days. Very funny guy. Giannis Pappas. Great guy.
I've heard of this guy. Yeah,
he's very funny.
I think I've seen him before on something.
Probably just last week he was on Theo Von's podcast.
I'm not going to see him. Really funny. Yeah, I'd have to watch a podcast or listen to a podcast to hear that.
It's called Mom Love.
Mom Love. I'm already excited about it.
Yep. Giannis Pappas. There he is. That's what we're doing next week.
Nice. That's awesome. Well done with that. Having that ready to go. I think that was done with a lot of thought. I think you had a lot of thought put into that, and I appreciate that.
I think by that you mean you spoke a long time about comedy to say what we're doing there, and you're right about that.
That's not what I was saying. I'm actually just talking so I can think a little bit longer because I have no preparation for this. in any way, shape, or
this
form.
is when you always come up with the best. Mount Rushmores.
Struggling though. There's not a lot left, and my eyes go around this room, and there's not a lot more things for me to really pick out and go, oh, there's one.
Best baseball training channels on YouTube.
Oh, yeah, I could definitely do that. There's some really good ones out there. There's a lot of guys put a lot of time into just teaching people how to play baseball, and it's all free. And I mean, they sell stuff on their websites and stuff, but
sure, you'll watch an ad or two.
Yeah,
but hey, it's worth it.
You gotta do what you gotta do. All right, Adam Schmidt.
Yes, sir.
For today's Mount Rushmore, or I should say this week's or next week's Mount Rushmore, we are going to do, I've got it. Any sport, the Mount Rushmore of unwritten rules.
Ooh.
Or maybe it's just baseball that has all the unwritten rules.
No, I think there are. There are some in basketball. I mean, we kind of addressed, possibly one or two there. Unwritten rules. Okay.
So ones you like, not like like unwritten rules that you like.
Okay.
Like, so Adams B, no bat flips. Don't show up the pitcher.
Okay. So they can be any unwritten rules, but ones that you like though. Okay, yeah, there is. Okay, so say there is an unwritten rule about don't flip the bat. I like that because I don't think. Okay, I got you.
This was terrible. This is a terrible.
I don't think so.
All right,
I think
figure it out.
Yeah, I think when you do a search, we'll both find some stuff. You're like, oh yeah. I think this will be a good one.
There you go. So unwritten rules, Mount Rushmore of sports unwritten rules.
Yep. Good call.
Don't forget to get a hold of Ohio Mosquito Control. Summer's getting here, and you're gonna want no mosquitoes in your yard.
That's right.
Oh, by the way, it's all natural stuff in it, right?
Oh,
Isn't that
yeah,
what we
yeah,
always say?
Yeah, it's not going to hurt your
And
pets.
it doesn't kill the bees.
Right.
Don't let your pets outside for 2 hours afterwards, but
Not going to kill them
fine.
though.
Yeah.
If they go out and lick the grass,
Yeah, it might get a little
right
sick,
after,
but
yeah,
probably not a good idea for 2 hours, they say.
sure, it's fine.
Adam is going to spray only when his neighbor's dogs are out. Does your neighbor have dogs? I just said that. I feel bad if they do.
No,
He didn't say that at all.
my neighbors to the left of me do not. My neighbors to the right of me did, and apparently it died at some point, and I have no idea when.
Do you know either of your neighbors' names?
Yes.
Do you have a conversation with them when you go outside? More than just, hey, how we doing?
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah. Only because the people to the one side of me I've known for 30 years.
Oh.
They
Wow.
went to
St.
school and
Martin's
church
with
with
you?
us.
Gotcha,
Yeah.
gotcha.
I really whistled that S, didn't I? Yeah. So they've known she real nice family. She keeps me up to date on all the old St. Martin people.
That's awesome. Good for her.
Yeah.
Good for her. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Because those are the people you really want to know what they're doing right now.
I'll tell you a dog. Yeah. I'm like, really? Yeah, I remember that name.
No idea.
Anyway, yeah. Dog story though. They did have a dog. It I don't think it liked me. It would like bark if I would pull up into my driveway and it was out in the front. So the person that owned my house before me, huge dog person, was
You gave me a couple crates from them.
Yeah. Which your dogs couldn't possibly fit in whatever crates I gave you.
No, I took the biggest one you had.
Was
I
there a
used
big
it.
one?
Yeah,
Oh,
I used it for a long time, and then we bought the 2 giant crates that we have now. But I used that. I still have it up in the attic.
Okay, good. Glad somebody used something from there. But so huge, big pit bull person and that kind of stuff. That she had 2 or 3 dogs or something like that. So the neighbors' dogs would come up, like, so her dogs would go in their yard and do their business, and their dog would come over to her yard, which is now my yard, and do its business. So it was used to doing that. So, and they just kind of had an agreement.
I'll pick up your dog's poo. You pick up my dog's poo. In
I
the
guess.
backyard or front yard?
Front.
Front yard doesn't make any sense to me. Backyard, like if you guys hang out, like if the dogs hang out in the back and they're running around playing together and they drop a deuce, you know, it is what it is. They're out there playing. But if it's in the front yard, then you're walking your dog in the front yard. Or do they just let their dog kind of run around in the front yard?
There's no fence in either yard or anything. So they just have it out. I guess you either have it on, I mean, their dog didn't run away or anything. So they would just have it out and it would stay. But it would come over and do its business in my front yard, and they weren't used to picking it up. And a few times she's big, especially in the summer, on sitting out on the porch. Well, old Adam's cutting his grass and he's got to dodge the doo-doo.
And you can't just put a rock over top of it like your ex-girlfriend's house.
Right.
Why are all these rocks in my yard? That's the crap you got to pick up. I'll cut your grass, but I ain't picking up your dog doo-doo.
Yeah. You remember that?
Absolutely. It's my favorite story of all time.
I forgot. So anyway, I had a few times where I had to stop, more than a few times, had to stop in the middle of cutting the grass to go find a bag, come back out, pick somebody else's dog poop up that wasn't willing to. And I never knew for sure that it was them. I never saw it do it, but she was honest about it. She saw me frustrated.
Yeah.
And she's like, I'm so sorry. That's, my dog. And she told me the story about how they used to go in each other's yards and stuff. And she's like, he just, he used, it just still goes, or she, I think, I never care about whether a dog is or no.
Doesn't matter.
Can't tell.
All dogs are he's, all cats are she.
Okay. Sure.
That's how it works.
I'll take that.
I have one of each. I call dogs he. Every dog I come across is a he. Every cat is a she. Every single one.
I love that because you're a dog person. You're like
100%.
Who cares?
Who cares? Dogs are guys. Cats are girls. That's how it works.
I love that.
I had a male cat at one point in time. We had a male cat and it was a girl. Hey girl.
How do you know how it identified?
I don't.
Okay.
I'm not getting into that.
Listen,
cats have their own things, right? Like you might be born with a twig and berries, but if you want to be a kitty, then you be a kitty. If you don't want to be a dog, the cat, my old cat probably identified as a dog.
Okay.
I think he thought he was a dog because he played with our dogs like he was a dog.
Was his name Katt Williams?
No, Mark.
That'd be a good. Oh yeah. Oh, okay, that's right. Yeah. That would be a good name for a cat, though. Katt Williams.
Come here, cat.
Yeah. You got to call it Katt Williams. You got to do the whole name.
No.
It only works that way.
Cannot have a name for a pet more than 2 syllables.
Oh. Huh.
Do not do it. If you got a cat, if you've got an animal and it's more than 2 syllables, you don't call it by its full name. Guaranteed. Anybody that has an animal with more than 2 syllables calls it a shortened version with 1 or 2 syllables. They never call their animal their full name.
My goldfish Penelope would tend to disagree.
My sister's dog is Eleanor. Only heard her called that once when they first got it. It is Ella all the time. That is the only thing they call it. Ella. That's it. They don't call it anything else.
After the Rihanna song?
I have Ella, hey.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, something about some rain in New York or something.
Yeah. Who knows?
Yeah, concrete jungle. Something.
I feel the same about that song that I do about whether dogs are boys or girls.
Could care less. Could care less.
Okay. I forget what I was saying.
Does he still drop a deuce in your yard?
It's dead. I'm pretty sure. Or they gave it away or something.
So when
suddenly I realized I haven't seen that dog in like 2 years. Suddenly I realized that. I'm like, I guess it died.
Did you say something to him?
No.
No. By the way, sorry about your dog. She never said anything to you about the dog?
Here's the thing. I'm not sorry about it.
Yeah, but she never said, Blue died.
Miss B
Miss B
was
was the name of the dog. Miss B. That's 2 syllables.
That's 2 syllables.
Yeah.
It was shortened because it used to belong to a family member of theirs, who just called it the B word.
Wow.
And they're Christian folks, so they shortened it to Miss B.
Smart idea.
That's also the name of their internet.
Wi-Fi that picks up in your house all the time.
Yeah.
Is the password the actual B word?
Oh, it should be.
It
I've never
should,
tried it,
yeah.
but it should be.
Yeah. Somebody comes to your house. Hey, what's the password to your Wi-Fi? Snitch.
Yeah. Just try all the bad words until you find it.
Especially for the Christian family.
Oh boy. All right. Well, I don't even remember where I started, how I got off on that thing, but it was just the dog story about pooping in my yard.
Yeah.
They could tell that I wasn't a fan. I think that's why they didn't say anything to me when it died.
They're probably like, he is not going to feel remorse like I want him to feel. So
Mhm.
I'm not going to give him the satisfaction of knowing that my dog, after they found out you were frustrated, did they start picking the poop up out of your yard?
They went through a period where they were both, one of them had surgery on their foot and the other one had back problems. And that was the excuse I heard a couple of times. Yeah. Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry. I meant to pick that up. I can't get out. And he's got his foot up, but he can't. And, their 38-year-old son lives there too. And,
38-year-old son lives with them. He's definitely not cleaning it up because he's never done anything in his life. I guarantee that. If you're 38-year-old normal, when I say normal, I mean not have anything wrong with him, son lives with you, he ain't doing nothing because he's never done anything his whole life. I know that because I had an uncle like that.
He's not. Yeah, he's not. He's fairly. He does have a health issue that mom says is the reason that he doesn't live by himself, but it's a health issue that many, many, many people that live by themselves have. So maybe it's a little more severe than I know. I don't know. He's had it ever since he was a child. Maybe he's just fine there.
Yeah.
Maybe he's just fine. Look, it's save your money. If you can stay at mom and dad's house. He does work. He does. I don't, it's,
Where does he work?
it's maybe a beginner's job.
Where does he work?
He works at a comic book store. Gosh, I hope they never hear this. I'm not using names, so it could be anybody really, but that's where he works.
Could be either of your neighbors.
That's where he works. Poor guy he's a nice old boy, but
He's the same age as you. No, the same age as me.
Did
Did he go to school with Joey?
He was, yeah. I think he may have been. He's the same age, but may have been held back a year or something like that. But played sports a couple of times with them growing up. And he just he's still hanging around.
Nice.
Which is totally okay. Totally okay.
Absolutely okay.
If it works out for you, hooray.
That's got to be weird to bring a girl home at 38 and say, hey, I'm on a date. And
that. So I haven't seen. I know that he has dated someone before. I've seen a girl or two a couple of times in my 5 years of living there, but not consistently. And I was told by mom that he was dating someone at some point. I think he just maybe he goes, maybe he does date, but doesn't date at home.
Well,
Could do that. Sweet old comic book gal.
And just go to her place, I guess.
Sure.
See him most of the time.
Go to the he comes and goes.
Does he?
Comes and goes.
Comic book stores got crazy hours.
Yeah. It's fine.
Does he own the comic book store?
Nah. Nah, he's an employee. Yeah, I think he sorts comic books.
I didn't know there was a comic book store.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, there was one right there in Cheviot somewhere, wasn't there? Is that still there?
The one. I think that's the one.
Wow, I didn't know that was still there.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know people read comic books anymore.
I mean, look, they're
Everything's
collectibles.
online.
They're,
Sure,
they're
yeah.
so yeah. I'm sure that's still alive because of that.
That's awesome.
I imagine, I've never seen it, but I feel like the comic book folks are the same people that do the cosplay and go to the conventions.
I
And
feel
that kind of
like you
stuff.
may just be generalizing, but I feel like
could
that
be.
generalization is pretty spot on.
Probably not that far off. I don't know for sure, but
Speaking of that, speaking of Comic-Con and stuff like that,
Comic-Con.
our cousin goes to Comic-Con a lot.
Yes.
Have you done any blood work for the big event at all? Did you do we know the story of giving blood.
Oh yeah. That's the big.
Have you done anything besides that? What blood type are you now? You
No.
went to go get your blood type. What blood type are you?
AB positive.
Oh, so you're good. You could, right? Because she's A positive, right?
Is that right?
I think so.
I have the chart somewhere. This person, I thought it was only. I don't know.
I thought AB could do A or B, and then O can do. I don't know.
Speaking of that, dude, I hate to. This is the last thing I'll say, and then we can go. I heard one of the funniest jokes of my entire life last week.
Yes.
And I've laughed so hard about it 3 times now. I lost my mind in a restaurant the other day when I told my dad the joke, and we both were sobbing.
I love
We
how you
both
say.
were in.
I love how you say a restaurant. And everyone that listens to this podcast knows you were at Skyline.
It was not at Skyline. It was the other favorite besides
Wild
Skyline.
Mike's.
No,
What
but
is
that's probably third. Santorini.
Oh,
Santorini and Chico.
okay,
Yes,
sorry.
good old place. This episode is brought to you by Santorini restaurant. I forget the name of the comedian, but it was 3 comedians on a podcast talking about this guy and how good he's not a household name, but we're talking about how great this guy's jokes were, and they were just like kind of trading jokes back and forth from this one specific comedian that wasn't even on the podcast. But the joke that really got me, I hope this hits you the same way, because it might just be nothing right now, but I'm so Irish, my blood type is O apostrophe.
That's good.
I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know why I like that so much, but I love that joke so much. And when I first heard it, I laughed so hard.
That's
and when I
good.
told my dad that joke the other day, we were both. It took me a while to get it out. It was That's a great
That's
written
good.
joke.
It's a well-written joke.
Oh.
I love a good one-liner.
Yes,
I love a good one-liner.
me too.
There's no doubt about
I
it.
hope Giannis Papas has some one-liners.
Me too. Me too. All right. I think we're good to go.
I think we are.
We're almost 2 hours into this thing. All right. So for all of you that have not fallen asleep, Adam's going to take a shot. Don't forget to turn your headlights off. Missed. Oh.